On everyone, Jessie Mundell here. We are going to dive into today's session called 3 Ways I Failed My Postnatal Fitness Clients and how to stop making the same mistakes and really how to prevent making these mistakes if you are interested in working with moms in fitness or health coaching in any capacity. So I'm excited for this session. I have talked a little bit before about my intro into postnatal fitness coaching, how I started out, and some of the mistakes that were made, but we're going to dive far deeper into that tonight. And hopefully it can just arm us all with more information, education, and skills moving forward so we can do better, and also so we can do better for our clients, because that is truly what this all is about. If you have any questions as we go through, please do let me know. You can see the slides now, correct? And you can hear me okay. If any tech stuff comes up as we are going through, just let me know. Give me a heads up in the questions box. And if you just have any questions in general, any comments to make, absolutely let me know as we're going through. Love to have these as conversational as possible. Okay, I'm on to the second slide now. So if you can't see that, just give me a heads up. But if you can, then we'll just keep rocking forward, all right? Okay, so here is what we are going to be going through in this session tonight. How to successfully coach moms without harming them physically, mentally, or emotionally. For me, this is what it comes down to the most. How can we do our due diligence? How can we protect people, not danger them, challenge them? Absolutely, especially if we are in fitness coaching. How can we appropriately physically challenge them? But how can we best support them physically, mentally, emotionally, and not put them in any danger that does not need to happen? That's one of the things that I think back on when I first started out, is that I was putting people in harm's way that did not need to happen whatsoever. Okay, if you are just getting started, or if you're looking to work with moms, this is why I think this information is so key now and starting out, so you don't have to make these mistakes, and so that women and moms can be spared from these issues that we might be causing them. Okay, and how can we empower people in their bodies and thus in their lives? So this is so apparent to me 2 years postpartum now. I just have no time for distraction about my body whatsoever, about how it's functioning, how it feels in a negative sense, and my body image to not be on point, and to be working on continuing to make that something that I have a good relationship with. I just don't have time for any negative distractions, and to stay in those spaces and places when I might get into a mindset or have feelings that crop up where I'm not feeling super good in my body. We need to empower moms, people, with the tools that they can use to feel good in their bodies as often as possible. So my goal is to help you feel proud of, confident in, and trusted from the work you are doing with moms. So pride in your coaching, for you to feel like you truly are doing the absolute best you can. You're always pushing forward to be doing better, that you've done your due diligence, that moms trust you and they want to talk with you and they feel comfortable talking to you with all sorts of different conversations that they might need to be having around postpartum health. Are we still good? Okay, if you can stay until the end today or tonight, whatever time it is for you in your world, I'm going to talk tonight about where I've been and where I'm going in postnatal fitness coaching. I want to talk about how you can avoid my missteps and fast track your coaching development. I didn't have access to this kind of information when I was first starting out. It was 10 years ago, so that is a lifetime ago in the fitness industry. Things change so quickly now, but this is the kind of information that I needed then. I needed this kind of information even 5 years ago. Things have changed drastically in this field in 5 years. I can't even imagine where we'll be in another 5. It's just such a cool and interesting time to be in postnatal health. And then I also want to talk to you about 2 mega bonuses that are available for you, especially for being on the webinar. Uh-oh. Kelly says, still showing slide 2 in edit mode. Can you just give me a heads up if you can see where I am right now? Ashley says yes. Kelly still showing slide 2. We gotta always have some tech glitches, don't we? Just let me know if you can see how is this different. Showing slide 2. Oh gosh, we might have a little bit of a delay happening. Let me know if you can see me flipping through the slides. We're on how is this different? Uh-oh. Let's just, it seems like we're stuck. I do apologize. This was working totally fine earlier today. I'm going to see if we can end this and maybe just start again. I think this is where they told me. Okay, I'm on how is this different? It's changing now? Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, well, it might just be the delay. I do apologize if it is slow. Thank you so much for your patience as always. Okay, so how is this different? Often postnatal fitness training is focused on body composition change, namely getting smaller. How can we make our bodies smaller? A lot of the time, what I've realized now is that this is rooted in fat phobia. This could be of the trainer. This could be of the client. Oftentimes, I think this is coming from both sides. And it hides behind this veil of health, which we're going to get into a little bit more as we dive into this tonight. What actually is health? And I will be telling you a little bit more about how my coaching was absolutely hiding behind this veil of health. We need to dig deeper. We need to question our biases. We need to push ourselves to do better for moms. This is how I believe that the type of training that I do, and some of you on the call right now, and so many of my incredible colleagues in this industry, we're doing things differently than a lot of other postnatal fitness training. And it's unfortunate that a lot of the training that I was doing 10 years ago, a lot of the conversations that I was having with clients 10 years ago about body composition change, making their bodies smaller, these moms with tiny babies, these are still the conversations that are being had now, today, with moms. So we need to change that, and you're here because you want to be able to change that too. Change the slide. I don't know if you can see it, but we're just going to keep going, okay? So next slide, if you can see it, just says, hi, I'm Jessie. So of course, I think you all know by now, my name is Jessie Mundell. I am a fitness coach and a fitness educator. I have been in personal training and fitness coaching for 10 years now. I started when I was 20 in university when I was doing my degree in physical and health education. So that was a long time ago now. That was when I was doing my undergraduate degree, and then I went on to do my master's degree. My graduate studies research was actually in prenatal and postnatal exercise. So even in the span of undergrad to grad school, the way I was training and coaching and what I was learning about postnatal health changed drastically. So different than what I was doing. I started to learn during grad school just how dangerous the training that I was doing could have possibly been to moms. So I think that this is important for us to realize, is that the work that we are doing is going to continue to change so much over the next couple of years. I even look back to what I was doing a year ago, and it's a little, I would change things now. How I exercised in pregnancy, how I recovered postpartum even 2 years ago, I would change a few things. So just knowing that if we're in the fitness industry, things are going to continue to shift as we go through. I am an introvert through and through. Training in person full-time was very difficult for me. I used to train 40 plus hours a week on the floor in gyms for years and years, talking with clients all day long, and I would get home at the end of the day and just be totally dead, not even be able to have a conversation. So this work is very different for me. And now that I work mostly online based with moms all around the world, which is super fun, love it so, so much. I do miss some of the in-person coaching, but right now my priority is to be a work-at-home mom and stay-at-home mom to our 2-year-old. So that is what my days are generally filled with, is at home with our kiddo, and I work early in the morning when she sleeps at nap time and after she goes to bed at night. I have strong interest in bodies and lots of conversations surrounding bodies, health, and we can pick that apart a little bit more, and then relationships and social justice as well. So these are all things that I am into lately, especially these conversations of social justice. I don't think we can separate them from fitness and health, so they need to be had. Are we still good, friends? I'm gonna click through to the next slide. Okay, amazing. Excellent. All right, so here's what I think I've done right, because I do think that I am a good coach. I care deeply about my clients and always have wanted to do the best things for them. I have a passion for continuing education and learning in this field. I think this field is really exciting right now, especially lots of new research coming out. Just people asking really good questions, and that's what I am trying to push myself to do as well. Ask good questions and then to impart that knowledge to other coaches and other trainers. And then know the value of movement for physical and mental health for moms. So that's always been a key piece of my coaching, but even more so postpartum. I'm really experiencing all the changes that the body goes through and just the entire shift to your life and your relationships, and how key this mental health piece is when you are coaching moms. I see that you all are saying the slides are stuck. I'm just going to keep going. I think it's more so with the recording situation, and hopefully they catch up for you, okay? But let me know if they are totally stuck and not moving at all. So while I think that I've done good things in coaching, I've definitely messed up. So my intro to postnatal fitness coaching was teaching stroller boot camp classes for moms with tiny babies. Stroller boot camp classes with tiny babies. 6-week-old, 8-week-old, 12-week-old babies. Some a bit older, but these classes were absolutely geared to new moms. So the workout and nutrition coaching that I was giving for years, truly, was focused purely on making your body smaller goals. And this is what I coach from a perspective on for years. And it really was because of my own experience in fitness and food and with my body, is that I was trying to make my body smaller for years and years. I approached food and fitness as how can I maintain, or how can I make my body smaller? That's all I knew. I wasn't having much different conversations with myself. Thus, I was not having different conversations with my clients. Michelle, yes, the recording and the slides will be going out afterwards. And my coaching practice, again, hid behind that veil of health. So what I thought was healthy, encouraging lots of exercise, what I thought was healthy and encouraging people to eat clean, were hiding behind that veil of health. And this is what I've asked myself about, a lot of questions, dug deeper on this topic a lot over the last couple years. Yes, sorry if you're just popping on and the slides aren't changing. We got some technical difficulties, but I'm going to send this out to you afterwards. So hopefully you can check in with it. And for now, you can absolutely just listen, and you can check back in with the slides later, okay? All right, so after doing this coaching, postnatal fitness coaching, for 10 years, I started to uncover all the ways I was contributing to issues that moms were experiencing, to struggles that moms were having. So they're stressed about their body composition, more pelvic floor dysfunction issues. Moms not developing a truly healthy relationship with exercise and food for the long term. And what was so interesting is that I was experiencing stress with my body composition. I was experiencing pelvic floor dysfunction symptoms, and I did not have a truly healthy relationship with exercise and food. So once I started to dig on that stuff more for myself, it started to come into my coaching. Once I started to learn more in continuing education, it started to bring in that to my coaching as well too. Okay, so I discovered all of this the hard way, and now you don't have to. Or hopefully you can take a quicker path and you don't have to take the hard route with coaching, with exercise, with fitness, with these conversations with your clients to getting them to a better place. Hopefully you can get there faster and it doesn't take you 5 to 10 years to be able to do this. All right, we're going to talk about this a little bit more. So number one, my clients kept struggling even though I saw them in person multiple times per week. This is what I think is so interesting, is that my clients' experience is far greater now. It's far more positive now, even though I don't see them in person. They were struggling so much more when I did see them in person multiple times per week. Isn't this so interesting? Mostly because I was still struggling with food, exercise, body image, and I could not give them the tools to actually be able to move forward. But also, it's just that we were not having the right conversations about pelvic health, about alignment, about breathing. I wasn't using the best strategies that I could have been using when I was coaching them. Number two, I was not facilitating crucial conversations about pelvic health. I think back to those periods 6, 8, 10 years ago when I was not talking with my mom clients about pelvic floor dysfunction, not much about diastasis recti, and if I was not giving them good information, truthfully. We weren't talking about pelvic organ prolapse. One, we weren't having these conversations because I did not have the education to back it up. But number two, even if I was, for whatever reason, I was not trusted with those conversations. So interesting. One trainer reached out to me a couple of months ago. Her name's Ashley. She's a graduate of the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy. She's been coaching moms for years in fitness. Great coach. But she was saying that all of a sudden she's getting all these clients coming to her with pelvic organ prolapse. And what's interesting is that she was always training clients with pelvic organ prolapse, even if she didn't know it. But now these moms are coming to her with their stories because they trust her. And I think that is such a beautiful thing. Knowing, though, that I was training moms with prolapse, with pelvic floor dysfunction, but we weren't having the conversation for whatever reason. If you're starting to feel like Ashley and you're like getting flooded with these moms who are wanting to open up their stories to you, that's a really great sign. Okay, so the ineffective way, I believe, in coaching postnatal fitness. We focus on exercise and food being all or nothing. We use shaming tactics to bring moms in to our fitness coaching, to our businesses, whatever health coaching you might be doing, and we make it difficult for moms to show up in our spaces, whether that is simply the logistics, perhaps babies cannot come to class, timing doesn't match up, whatever it might be. I think these are all just ineffective ways to be training moms. Especially dig into these shaming tactics and the focus on food and exercise being all or nothing, because this does not work for mom life. It simply does not work for mom life. We have to live in the gray in our entire lives, and food and exercise are no exception. Where are we at with the slide situation? Right now it says, want the more powerful way instead. Are we there? Are we stuck? So the more powerful way instead for you and your clients. Do we want this? Absolutely. You are here because you want this. Kim says the slides are still stuck. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on chatting away. So hands up, yes, You want the more powerful way? Absolutely. Okay, so let's dive into what this looks like in my opinion. So number one, you want to help moms feel truly in their bodies and in their lives. We can't feel fully in our bodies and in our lives if we are focusing on the shaming, the all or nothing, if we're making it hard for moms to actually use our services. We want to help moms feel truly in their bodies. They will not feel truly in their lives unless they feel fully in their bodies. Agree? This is huge. This is something that's probably been the biggest lesson for me postpartum, and has given me, just made me feel so grateful for going through all this mindset stuff around food and exercise and not allowing this to be a stress whatsoever in postpartum for me. Number two, gain their trust to be having pelvic health conversations. We absolutely have to educate ourselves on these topics and have that education to be able to have and approach these conversations with our clients. This is a big thing that grads, again, of the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy have told me, is that they feel confident being able to hang in these conversations now, even with pelvic health physios their clients are seeing. They can talk about diastasis recti, pelvic organ prolapse, pelvic floor dysfunction. They are able to hold their own in these conversations and help moms so much by being able to talk about this stuff. Biggie, number three, approach exercise and eating as a means to enhance their life. If we do nothing else, please let us do this. Approach exercise and eating as a means to enhance their life. This took me a long time to learn, a very long time to learn. This is what we focus on with my clients constantly. And it can be a real journey and a process to get there, but we need to be at the forefront of changing this conversation and knowing that it is possible and having them believe that it is possible to approach exercise and eating as something that can be really enjoyable for people. All right, we're gonna get into my three big missteps. Any questions first before I go on? Apologies again for the slides. Recording with the slides is coming at you after we're done tonight, so you will have them. Okay, my three big missteps. The moment we've all been waiting for. Oh, can you repeat number one? Pam says. Yes, okay, so that number one from just a couple slides ago was to help moms feel truly in their bodies and in their lives. And I think that they have to feel in their bodies to be able to thrive in their lives. Okay, so my three big missteps. I was lacking essential knowledge on abdominal and pelvic health postpartum. I'm going to explain this a whole bunch more in just a second here. Number two, I had poor exercise programming and coaching skills, like real bad, real bad. Some of those programs I look back on, it's not pretty. And number three, I was perpetuating unhealthy ideas of health, in quotations, I know you can't see it, via fitness and nutrition coaching. So these were my three big missteps: lacking essential knowledge on abdominal and pelvic health postpartum, poor exercise programming and coaching skills, and number three, I was perpetuating these unhealthy ideas of health. Hi, Christine. Okay, so let's get into this more. Okay, so way number one that I was misstepping in postnatal fitness coaching. I was lacking essential knowledge on abdominal and pelvic health postpartum. So let me tell you a little bit more about my very first personal training job postpartum. So this was at the prenatal and postnatal fitness training studio in Kingston, Ontario. If anyone knows where that is, that's my hometown. That's where we just were for the month before. If you saw my pictures of the cottage, we were in that area. So the focus of the classes that I was teaching were running-based stroller boot camps and core classes for new moms. Core classes is in quotation marks as well. So this was what I was teaching. Things that I would never teach now, but I was at that time. So we were having no conversations on diastasis recti, No conversations on pelvic floor dysfunction, such as incontinence, whether it was stress, urge, fecal, not a part of it. No conversations on pelvic floor dysfunction, and I didn't even know that pelvic floor physio was a thing that was a thing at that point. So I had no one to refer people to, but it didn't matter because we weren't having these conversations anyways. So this is, again, it's painful to think back on because there's no way that we were not increasing people's issues or their pelvic health struggles by teaching these classes. Like, there was just too much running, there was too much jumping, there was all the crunches, there was all the sit-ups, all the planks, but there was no conversation on strategies to help their abdominal and pelvic health. So that's a big bummer. Absolutely. I know a lot of people can relate, kind of cringe looking back on some of the things they've done. These are my big cringy moments, 100%. So second way that I was misstepping in postnatal fitness coaching, my programming and coaching skills were bad. So the personal training cert that I did when I first started out was, if you are familiar, if you're in Canada, I did CanFit Pro, which I think has improved greatly since 10 years ago, but it was a weekend course, and that was it. I did not have any specialty in training prenatal or postnatal, except for maybe an hour that we took on the second day of that training course over the weekend to touch on some of the things. And they were not good things that we were even talking about, not useful things for exercise programming. It was just super basics. And then I went into this prenatal and postnatal training studio and thought that I could adequately program exercise and workouts for these moms. So you know that feeling when you look back on your old training plans for clients, if you're in fitness or if you're in another health coaching realm, you look back on the treatment plans and it just is so painful to look at. That's what this is like. I can vividly remember in my mind right now coaching classes and what I was doing with people. Core classes were 75% spent on the floor. How is that going to be helpful to a mom's life, honestly? The running classes, again, babies and strollers. I remember a couple sets of twins, little babies, twins. We would do lots of squat jumps. We would do box jumps on benches. It's just really, really not great stuff. The other thing that I think is so bad looking back on is that it was not purposeful or intentional, the exercise. The exercises were just thrown into the program without any intention behind them. I should back up. The intention behind them was to make people sore. The intention behind them was so that the moms, because I thought this was important, would feel sore, would feel sweaty, would feel like they were working hard because they wanted their bodies to change. They wanted fat loss, or at least that's what I was telling them by programming exercise this way. And way number 3, my misstep. I was perpetuating these unhealthy stories of health via fitness and nutrition coaching. So none of this truly was healthy. I even think back to 5 years ago when I was coaching in Edmonton, Alberta, again, for the Canadians who know where that is. I was giving 6-week nutrition challenges to clients, general fitness clients, some who are moms, that made them cut out gluten, dairy, sugar, and alcohol. 6 weeks, none of that stuff, because we were trying to see if they could make fat loss progress. Not great, really not great, not something that I would ever do now. I would never live this challenge myself, quotations, challenge. I don't think that this is a healthy nutrition practice to put into place for someone who simply wants to lose fat, wants to change their body composition a little bit. And this is not a nutrition protocol to be throwing around to lots of clients. So these perpetuating unhealthy stories. It's like I was just mentioning that I was perpetuating the idea that these moms needed to be sweaty, needed to be sore, needed to be struggling and hobbling around the next day, and that meant that their workout was good. That meant that their body would change. That meant that they were burning lots of calories. That's on me. That's my responsibility to change the conversation about what a good workout actually is for moms. That's on us. Agreed? We cannot have them thinking that this is what they need to be doing early postpartum to get benefits from exercise. Yeah, Ashley says yes. Yeah. So we gotta do better. We have to do better. Okay, so I want to tell you about Suzanne Coe. So Suzanne Coe, does anybody here know her? Let me know in the chat box if you know Suzanne. She is on social media and she is just an absolute sweet soul. Love Suzanne. I really just got acquainted with her over a year ago. She took the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy, the very first class, and things have changed drastically for her since then. And it's been so cool to be able to watch her journey. So Suzanne's been working in fitness, coaching, group fitness, and now personal training and yoga instruction as well for over 13 years now. Yes, Christine, Suzanne with a bunch of heart faces beside it. Yeah, love her. So she got pregnant and gave birth, and they have a toddler now as well. And then she just experienced this total shift in her body, in her coaching, in getting back to exercise. So things were different in her body when she was trying to resume exercising postpartum. So she sought out extra education for herself and her moms, and the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy is one way that she did that, and she has started to build her network with other pelvic health professionals, and she's just doing such incredible work for moms now. So along the way, during the academy and afterwards, Suzanne was kind of had some inklings that things were up in her pelvic floor. Just things were not feeling right. She was having some symptoms around ovulation, getting back to heavier strength training was not feeling good. So eventually went to a different public health physio, got a second assessment after she saw her OB. And they discovered that she did have a pelvic organ prolapse. So what I think is so cool now about Suzanne, though, is she has gone through this experience, she educated herself, she is on the road to recovery. I think that they have completely reversed that prolapse now. Suzanne obviously doing lots of hard work to make that happen and then working with the pelvic health physio too. And now she's able to coach moms on this. She is able to walk them through. She has this firsthand knowledge. She has been through it and she is able to bring this into her coaching. So what I love now, and this is happening soon for Suzanne, she's actually hosting a workshop with her pelvic health physio on prenatal and postnatal exercise. So she's becoming a leader in this field, and it is an absolute joy to watch this happening for her and to know that she's going to help so many people along the way. So I gave you that really beautiful story of Suzanne, but then I also want to recognize that this process in this path can be hard, and it's not always an easy one. It can be really difficult to look out into the fitness industry and to see a lot of celebrity fitness stars, we'll call them fitness trainers, who are putting out postnatal programs, and they have tons of money to throw behind them. And we know that they are getting a lot of sales from it, and perhaps that their information is not great, or it's not the best, it's not most optimal. The information they're putting out looks like what I was doing 10 years ago. So we can get to this place where we might let our egos take over, compare ourselves to others, just become frustrated with these other programs that we know are not optimal, and really can forget our true purpose. Can you all still hear me? Just see Ashley said audio dropped. Back on? Okay, cool. So I just want to recognize that this path of being in our integrity staying in our integrity when coaching moms, it can be challenging at times. But that said, you'll be happy to know that I think with the route that we take, that hopefully we want to be taking, you'll feel far more confident and proud of your work. And I feel this way all the time, just more confident in my skills, in the conversations that I'm able to have, how I'm able to communicate, just constantly getting better at being able to coach postnatal fitness. And I say that still getting better, not to where I want to be, not at all to where I want to be 10 years later. There will be way less pressure on you as a coach to deliver unrealistic results. This has been huge for me. I used to always feel like my clients were not having a good experience, that they were not getting the results they wanted. When we focus on body composition change entirely as our focus on fitness coaching or exercise or food, it can just feel really hard, because if we are focusing on that, that's what the client is wanting, and they want results fast and now, and you can always feel like you're coming up short. So I think changing the conversation is key in this, but I also think there's way less pressure on your clients, and they can actually enjoy the process, enjoy movement, enjoy eating, not be hyper-focused on body composition change, losing inches, seeing big progress in their photos, their before and afters, quotations. Way less pressure on you as the coach, way less pressure on the client, a whole lot more fun for everybody. Biggest key here, I think that we are teaching clients lifelong strategies and skills, and this is the most important part. So let's have them find that joy of moving their bodies. Let's help them find ease with eating. Let's help them to truly believe that their bodies are perfect right now, more than enough, and absolutely good. So this is where we get to the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy. Can you just give me a heads up? Where are we at with slides now? And let me know if you have any questions before I move on. Stuck, of course. Okay, so I'm on a slide right now, Christine, on how is this different? Oh, goodness. Okay, so we're so far behind. Okay, so we're moving on. We're changing gears a little bit. I want to talk about the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy. This is my second baby. This one's a year-old. My real baby's 2 years old, but the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy is where I, and where so many of the guest lecturers that are involved in this course are trying to lead this change to this better way of coaching postpartum moms. Just a reminder, these will be sent out to you in the recording afterwards tonight, okay? Okay, so here's what you receive in the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy. We have 10 modules of postnatal fitness and health education, not simply just fitness, not just fitness related whatsoever, especially this new class. We have a whole bunch of new topics coming in. 20 plus expert guest lecture interviews. We have pelvic health physios, multiple pelvic health physios. We have a sexuality educator, a social and racial justice educator, naturopathic doctor, registered dietitian, body image experts, strength and conditioning specialists. We have so many incredible health professionals who are leaders in their field. And they have done interviews for us. Many are recorded, but we also have 5 live Q&A sessions this class, with some expert health professionals. Erica Hart, Catrice Jackson, Sonia Herbert Price, Shannon Kane, just absolutely unbelievable people. For those of you who are in the fitness industry, we are also doing a live Q&A session this class with Brianna Battles, one of my favorite people in general, and also one of my most highly respected colleagues in this field too. We're going to be talking to Bri all about her second C-section recovery and this second diastasis, recti healing experience that she's going through right now with a pretty severe diastasis recti, so that's going to be super cool. And then a biggie is private coaching with myself and Anita Lambert, pelvic health physiotherapist. This is all what's included in the Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy. Okay, so who is this for? Who has taken the course, who is registered currently? Personal trainers and group fitness instructors who are wanting to work with moms. Personal trainers and group fitness instructors currently working with moms. So you do not have to be working with moms to take this course. You do not have to be currently focusing your business in this direction. We have lots of people who are wanting to work with moms, but they want to gain some education before they go down that path to do what I'm trying to impart with you tonight, to not make the mistakes that I made. And then health professionals who are working with moms who want to have additional and actionable tools to help their clients with postpartum wellness. So we have physiotherapists, chiropractors, massage therapists, doulas, midwives, which I think is so awesome, who are taking the course. Just health professionals who don't work specifically in fitness but know that the information in the academy can absolutely help their clients. So this is a quote from Madison Kleckler, who is a grad of the academy as well. And I want to read this one to you and then talk about this a little bit further. So she said, "This course has been amazing. I've learned so much and has enhanced my postpartum life. I couldn't be more excited to bring this to my moms in my area." What I love about this so much, and what I've heard multiple times before, is that trainers are using this information in their own postpartum experiences. And I think that's so cool to be able for them, for you, for I, to be able to actually walk the walk and then to be able to coach people through it. Second thing I love about this, and that so many of the grads are doing, is that they are bringing really successful and good postnatal training programs and education to moms in their local communities. We need you to do this work, and I just really hope that this continues to happen because you are on the front lines and moms want to work with you and get really incredible advice. Okay, so what we're covering this session in the academy: exercise coaching and strategies for diastasis recti and pelvic organ prolapse. Things I did not know how to do when I was starting out. It was not even a consideration of how I might coach someone in exercise with pelvic organ prolapse. We are talking about mental and emotional health postpartum this class. Brand new lecture from Shannon Kane, a prenatal and postnatal counselor. We're talking racism and motherhood. Absolutely so excited for this one. I think that we can't avoid these conversations right now, and furthermore, we should be wanting to have them, especially if we're working with moms and women of color. Strength training, programming, post-pregnancy, my pride and joy right there. Postnatal return to running and interval training, and the representations of bodies in fitness. Love this whole lineup. Could not be more excited. Okay, so bonuses, bonus time. So the masterclass students of this class are each receiving a 15-minute private coaching call with me. Love these so much. Getting on the phone with people and actually having these real conversations, hearing what they need, hearing what they do, hearing what they want to get out of the academy. It's just so fun. So every masterclass student is getting a 15-minute private coaching call. There's only 25 available spots in the masterclass, and I think we have 18 left after today so far anyways. So those have sold out every time, the last two classes. So if you're interested in the academy, you can grab your spot and we can schedule our call in after you register. And then second bonus, I'm excited about this one this year because people have been asking for this the last two classes. We have a final exam prep session. So a live Q&A call with me in week 10 to help you ace the exam. This bonus is only going to be available until this Thursday night at midnight Eastern time. So anyone who is registered before this is going to get this additional call. We are going to go through an exam review before you write that exam. You'll have access to the final exam in week 10, and we will help you prep as best as possible. So here's the things that I think about. Is it important to you that You're able to help moms have less physical discomfort. You're able to help moms be more comfortable in their bodies. You are able to help moms stop being distracted by their bodies and live their damn life. This is what I focus on in my coaching, especially that last point. Moms, stop being distracted by their bodies and just live. This is my focus. So when we can think about this, what is empowering women and moms worth to you? I want you all, if you're interested, to become trusted sources of postnatal fitness and health information in your community. Moms need you so desperately. I live in a small town, but I live adjacent to a big city, and there are a handful of people that I trust in that community to train moms, but there's not that many, and moms need places to go, so they need your work. So you can join the Academy now. There's a self-study. There's also the masterclass group. I'm going to post the link on the next slide here. So I just want to reiterate that the masterclass only has 25 spots, and the enrollment for both self-study and masterclass is only open until Monday, October 16th at midnight Eastern Standard Time, and then registration will close for at least 6 months again. So spring 2018, summer 2018, somewhere in that time frame is the next time that it will reopen. So once you take the course, look through all the module material, watch all the module lectures, in week 10 you take the final exam, and then once you pass, you become a certified postnatal fitness specialist. You join our referral network, which is a website page where we direct moms to when they come looking for a trainer in their area who can coach them in postnatal fitness successfully, someone who we trust. And then we call you a certified postnatal fitness specialist, and you go out into the world and you do big things and you tell me about it, and we create this incredible community, and we have all been supporting each other the last year, and it's just been a really wonderful thing to witness so many new postnatal fitness specialists doing good work. So bit.ly/postnatal-fitness is where all the information can be found. I'm going to just dive into your questions now. So if you have any, please post them in the question box. Anything that we covered or didn't cover tonight, anything on the Academy, let me know. Okay, Jennifer says, you have to leave, your little one keeps waking. I know that life, absolutely. Hopefully you'll post this and I can watch later. Yeah, you bet. Going to be emailing the recording out 1 hour after we finish up tonight. Okay, thanks, Pam. Excellent. Okay, Justina says, random question, feel free to answer after the webinar. I just finished an ebook, Core, Pelvic Floor, and a little more. Oh, excellent. Can I send it to you and get your honest feedback? That's so sweet. Yes, email me for sure. Okay, Gina, is there any benefit now from registering for the self-study? So the bonus for the Q&A call for that exam prep is available to all self-study and masterclass people who are registered by Thursday night. And self-study is absolutely a great direction to go as well. We have tons of people who are coming in for the self-study. There's also a closed Facebook group for all the members in the self-study. And I see those threads go through often, talking about advice that they need, suggestions, modifications. So that's been a really nice piece of the puzzle for the self-study group too, that closed Facebook group to help each other out. Anything else? That's all I see. I think we are on a bit of a delay here though. Okay, so biggest thing, Postnatal Fitness Specialist Academy, really, how can we do our absolute best to keep moms, help moms get to good health physically, mentally, and emotionally? I want to approach this topic from so many angles because it is so many things. We cannot just talk about the core and pelvic floor anymore. We can't just talk about abdominal function, postpartum. We can't just talk about strength training. If you're going to coach moms successfully, we need to be able to have many different topics of conversation in our repertoire and feel comfortable talking about a lot of different things. Personal training, fitness coaching, working in health coaching, it is not just about the physical body or physical function. All right, everybody, I think that is everything. Thank you so much for being on. Big apologies for the slides. Goodness, the amount of tech issues I've had in the last week. It's been a lot. I do appreciate your help, though. Thank you so much. Again, recording's coming at you in an hour. I don't know if the slides and the audio will match up, but I do hope so. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email info@JMG Fitness Consulting or Facebook or Instagram, and I will do my best to get back to you. Have an excellent night, and thanks again for being on. I really appreciate it.